Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome to my channel. And as you can see, I have this handsome guy with me. This is my husband, Joe. And we are going to tell you about how Joe almost died about 8 weeks ago. Legit, twice, in fact, almost died. And how it could be the best thing that happened to our business, possibly. Yeah?
Of course.
Okay.
I think it is.
So we're going to start the story back in 2010. In 2010, Joe actually fell through a glass coffee table. He went to swat a mosquito and fell through the table and cut his leg open to the bone and ended up having to go get that repaired. And during the repair, he got staph infection, MRSA, in his blood, and that surfaced months later, and he became very sick and was in the hospital for a couple weeks. And they told us at that time that he would be very prone to that going forward. So we were real careful and watched for it really closely for a couple years, and then we kind of forgot about it. I did. I don't know. I wasn't thinking of it the beginning of October 6th, I guess, 7th. The first Monday in October, whatever day that was, he is a floor layer. Been laying floor for how many years?
Over 30. Over 30.
Okay. So, over 30 years, he's been laying floor. And he came home from work after a really hard, busy weekend. And he said that his back really hurting him. So, we figured that he, pulled a muscle in his back and he went to bed early that Monday. And the next morning, you should be telling some of the story too.
Well, the next few days, I'm not really sure. I don't recall much, but I was in and out.
Yeah, I guess
I had just finished a house that was a lot of floor space. It took about a week. I had put in a 24-hour shift. I had put in a 36-hour shift. I was by myself on a deadline. And it was about 11 rolls of carpet, about 16 rolls of pad, 2 floors. Got home and just figured I threw my back out somehow,
So I put him to bed on Monday. And Tuesday morning, when he woke up, he couldn't walk. He couldn't get out of bed. And he couldn't even roll over in bed. It was really bad. And so I just thought it was a bad, twisted back, right? I've twisted my back pretty bad before. And he's a tough guy, so he doesn't usually go to bed when he's hurt. So he just works through it, muscles through it. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the whole week he continued to be just in bed. Like he couldn't move. He couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. So Friday morning, he started talking crazy talk. And I'll put some pictures in here. Maybe even see if I can't squeeze a little video of, I did take a video and took some pictures for the doctor. But he was talking about men that were in the house that weren't here. He was talking about things that never happened. He was talking about thinking he was in a place that he wasn't at. And it was terrifying to me. And could not move him. He couldn't walk. So I had to call 911. The paramedics came. This was the first week in October. Paramedics came and they asked him some questions. He wasn't coherent. They took his temperature. It was 104. So they rushed him to the hospital, lights and sirens. Said he had to get there immediately. So I followed him to the hospital and we get there. And at this point, I realized that he's got similar symptoms to when he had sepsis before and MRSA. And I realized that that's most likely what he had. So I tried to tell the emergency room doctors that, please check for that. Please test for that. It was in his health record. And they just totally blew us off. They thought that I don't know if they thought he was trying to get drugs or what, but the doctor said that she was going to run a scan for kidney stones. I said, no, this is not kidney stones. And she said to me, word for word, I think I know what I'm looking for. So she got really snippy with me. They did all these tests looking for kidney stones, and they turned up negative, of course, because he didn't have kidney stones. And then they sent him home. They sent him home. I cried and I begged, and he remembers very little, just bits and pieces of
Hmm.
this.
Yeah, I didn't remember the ambulance ride, or but it sent me home with 102 fever.
He still had 102 fever. They could not get his fever down, and I asked the doctor. I said, "So, um, why does he have a fever?" And the discharge paperwork said back pain, um, and fever of unknown origin. And I said, there should be a reason why he has back pain, right? I mean, we need to find out. She said, oh, it's probably some kind of infection and it'll go away. Um, so they sent us home. It was about 11 o'clock at night on Friday night, and I was hysterical. I knew that I just was going to have to take him. And I said, he can't walk. How am I going to get him home? And they said, oh, we'll wheel him to the car for you. The rest is up to you. We live in a 2-story house, and the living area is on the second floor. It was very difficult to get him up the steps. It was very traumatic. He still was in a great deal of pain. Um, so we got him home, and it was very difficult. We got him up the steps, and got him to bed. And I just knew, I said, okay, I'll take him to another emergency room tomorrow. On Saturday. Well, the next day on Saturday, right at 9 o'clock a.m., the phone rang, and we missed the call. It was a number I didn't recognize. It was Joe's phone. And so I just had this feeling. So I looked it up. I did a reverse search because I didn't leave a voicemail. And the reverse search, when I put it in Google, it said it was the hospital that we had been at the night before. I thought, well, that's kind of quick for them to be calling to check up. So I called them back, and it was the emergency room. And they immediately, as soon as I identified myself, they put me through to the doctor that had sent us home the night before. And she apologized, and she said, I'm so sorry. You were right. I was wrong. Can he get back to the hospital immediately? He needs to come back today. Like right now, as soon as possible, he's going to die, is what she said. And so I said, yep. So we had to take him down the stairs, got him back in the car, got him to the hospital where they admitted him, started treatment. He had MRSA staph infection in his bloodstream, and he would have been dead within 24 hours had we not. He would have died over that weekend. So they started the medicine. I don't think he remembers much of that time, the first week in the hospital. Um, First week, they just poured this medicine in him, um, and did more tests every day. So on day number 8 or 9, day number 9, um, they had the weekend doctor had come in over the weekend and had ordered a PICC line to be run so that they could send him home and continue to do IV medication. But the main doctor had said no PICC line, that his infection, he couldn't be run. They attempted to put the PICC line in on day 9 and failed. And in doing so, it exacerbated the infection that was in his blood already. And I guess that was about 3 o'clock they did the attempt. And then immediately after she left the room, he started just a nosedive. All the symptoms came back, but worse than before and with lightning speed. And by 10:30 at night, he was back again talking crazy. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know what was going on. He was, I called the nurse. The nurse called her boss. They called the doctor, and they took him for an emergency CAT scan at 2 a.m. They thought that he had had a blood clot that had traveled to his brain.
Or stroke.
Or stroke. Yeah, something. And as it turns out, well, then they thought that it had gone to his heart, and that there was so many different things. But he was very nearly close to death again that night. I had my mom on one cell phone, his mom on the other cell phone. We were all crying, and he just laid there, gray and waxy, and just barely breathing, and I was terrified. It was the scariest night of my life. But
the medicine really hadn't taken control of the infection yet. So the infection was actually still winning, and yeah, it was another week or 10 days. It took about 4 weeks probably before the antibiotic caught up with the infection, and then started to overcome it, and
He
then
was,
day
yeah,
after day became better and better. So
well, he spent 3 weeks total in the hospital. Well, 20 days. So 1 day short of 3 full weeks.
is my
He came out
so
of the hospital um, on what day were you discharged? The day after your mom's birthday?
4 days, yeah, left
What day?
in last month around
Okay,
27th or
that's right,
so.
the 27th. So he was released on the 27th and came home on infusion therapy, which means that every day we have to be at the cancer center at the hospital for him to continue to take his IV treatment. Now, the reason why all this is important is because we he kind of had the main source of income. I left my job about a year ago to do reselling and other things full time. He was very supportive, and he went back to working um, full time, laying floors, which is very hard work. And um, in order to support me, learning how to resell and do those things. Um, so when he became sick, um, I taking care of him at the hospital. We live out in the country. The hospital is a 30-minute drive from our house. We have 6 dogs, and it was all I could do to get up every day, take care of the dogs, and then go to the hospital, plus pack up any orders that I had sold. Now, I had stopped listing completely when this happened. Again, it was all I could do to keep up with the existing orders that were coming in. So, had a few orders, the first week, orders every day. The second week, they started to trickle off. And by the third week, when he got out of the hospital, um,
Just barely.
just barely
Yeah.
any orders coming in at all because I haven't been listing. So I haven't been able to list. Coming home from the hospital, taking care of him has been a full time job. However, just this past week, which is, well, he came home on October 27th. Today is December 2nd. Yes, December 2nd. Oh, it's Vlogmas, day 2 of Vlogmas. So, um, anyway, about 9 days. Well, Thanksgiving, he had a bad day. That was his last bad day. And ever since then, he's just making lightning fast improvement. And I said something at the beginning of this video about how this could be the best thing that happened to our business. Well, because it sounds right now at this point pretty terrible. Like we haven't had any income in 8 weeks, very little. So the doctor told Joe, they made it very clear he cannot go back to work. He can't work. Oh, what I forgot to tell you was the infection, the MRSA, had created an abscess in his spine. So he actually had a spinal abscess, which is where all the pain was coming from. And he still may require surgery. So we're not 100% out of the woods. I don't think he's going to die, but at least not right away. But he cannot go back to laying floors. They told him that very clearly. So now we've decided he's going to become completely involved, and we're going to do the reselling together. Which he always was interested. He was always so supportive, but
You want me to take it a little bit?
yeah, you tell him.
Okay. So yes, there was always it was always easy to revert back to flooring, and which I was doing alone, but it was keeping me away from why she had stopped her full-time employment and what we were trying to do here. We had come into just tons and tons of merchandise by way of auctions, estate sale, clean outs, just many different ways to come into things. And so now I'm not going to be doing any flooring. And so I am able to give 100% of my time to this venture. And we invite you all to come along and grow with us. Just watch it all come about. We have a total of 3 buildings. We don't have the order that you see on other videos, other people, other resellers. We
don't know what we're doing.
We will have, and yeah, we're
learning as we go.
We're very enterprising. Laura's in sales for most of her life. I've been self-employed most of my life, so we understand. It takes a lot of discipline, and especially when you're inundated as we are with merchandise. So it's going to be a journey like probably you haven't saw if you watch resellers. We're not just starting brand new with half a garage full of stuff that we got from a auction or something. We have merchandise that goes back to the Civil War all the way up till current.
And that'll be another video how we come across all that. And plus we have 3 buildings. This, we just wanted to talk about his illness and how it's changed everything, and how this time of being stagnant has allowed us to re-examine our priorities and put some things into practice. And we are very, very excited about the future. And
yes, I think it was just a swift little reminder from our Lord to set me down, make us take a look at things and make a choice. And then there's the health. I have a lot of soft tissue damage in my back that just isn't going to probably allow me to lift rolls of carpet and just do the things. It's a very taxing job when you do it yourself. And so we have a lot to learn. We like to watch YouTube videos on all different products and different people and their style and all. So we are brand new. We don't have a style, so to speak, except that we do fly by the seat of our pants a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's new to him. That was always my style. He's really loosened up a little bit. So
yeah.
So
should be fun.
It should be fun. So you guys are great. Thanks so much for stopping by. And please, if you like this video, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike.
And please, any comments?
Any comments?
Love to have comments.
Yep.
Any questions?
Any questions? We're an open book.
About.
You will see that we are fully transparent. We're authenticity and transparency, 2 things that are very important to us. What you see is what you get. You're gonna see with us a lot that you won't see on other channels. So anyway, we're just gonna let you see it all. We're not, no secrets. So anyway, thanks so much. Happy Vlogmas, and we'll see you tomorrow. Day 3. Today. Bye. Peace. Mwah.
20 minutes.